Hey y'all, welcome to Gadfly, the podcast about third parties, fringe candidates, and generally weird American electoral history. I'm Dusty Wilson.
I'm Una O'Leary.
And if you heard that, that's Laverne the podcast dog. She's very angry today.
Arf, arf. Oh no, what is
Oh, it's
Laverne
fine.
angry about?
Oh, she's just excited about the world. And there were like painters working on the stairwell, so she is just hyped up beyond words right now.
Incredible. I thought it had to do with who or what we're going to talk about today.
Oh no, if only. So we do have a bit of an update from a past episode to talk about. So I don't know if you remember the Constitution Party, those
Mm-hmm.
fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
They had their convention and they had a bit of an issue because Randall Terry got selected to be their candidate, but three states decided to not follow that and instead nominated survivalist Joel Skousen to be their nominee. And I did not know why. The people over at Ballot Access News were able to track down the reason, and it's because the convention rules are kind of fucky.
Ooh.
So, for example, each state has their own number of delegates based on the size of the state. But the problem, though, is that the states didn't send that many delegates. So, like, say if
Oh.
Colorado had 8 delegates, if 8 people show up, those 8 people get their own individual votes. But if only one guy from Florida shows up and Florida has 33 delegates, that one guy gets to make 33 votes.
Oh.
So that's where the issue came up.
Oh dear.
So yeah, so essentially
Wow.
these states that, played by the rules and had the right number of delegates ended up losing out to like a single dude from Florida who really likes Randall Terry.
Aside from the Randall Terry fact, I feel like this is 2000 all over again.
Yeah, it sucks. So I understand why it's happening, and it's the worst thing that could be happening to the Constitution Party anyway. So huzzah, we have answers. And on that note, today marks the beginning of the end of having to stay in the fucking modern timeline.
Ooh, yay.
I'm sick of it. I want to go back in time so bad. But first, we gotta talk about the last of the mid-major third parties that had their conventions. We're going to be talking about the Green Party Convention of 2024.
Fine,
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's held online.
because that's better for the environment.
I mean, it saves money. It definitely does that. I think it's also just, it's one of the few parties that's at least aware of COVID and how debilitating it can be if you get it.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I think it has a lot more to do with that. Plus, it's very inexpensive to buy a Zoom account and have a bunch of people on it.
Yes, yes.
So, going into this, I think it's important to have a little background context. So, for those of you who want to really, really deep dive into the Green Party and their history, I'd highly recommend going back to our 2020 Green Party Convention episode from our very first year of doing this.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, listen and then remark on how much better our audio is now.
Yeah. So 2020 didn't exactly go as Greens had hoped. So in
I
2016,
mean, like, did it go well for anyone, Green Party
not
in
really.
general?
I mean,
Anyway,
they
yeah.
had some local elections that did really well. They had like a mayor in a beach town in California who got reelected again. It's like the longest serving Green in America.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had some local success, but if we're talking like federal level, not great.
Yeah.
So in 2016, Jill Stein ended up getting 1.1% of the vote, which is their best result that they've had since the year 2000 when Ralph Nader ran. And for all their hard work, they got, some ballot access, a sub inciting incident in the worst season of American Horror Story, Fight Me.
Wait,
Yeah,
back. So they were like a C plot line in American Horror Story for
not
one of the
even. It
seasons.
is like in the very opening of the first episode for the season of Cult. The two main characters are yelling at each other after Donald Trump wins, and one's like, "I voted for Jill Stein," and they get into this huge fucking fight, and then it inevitably gets worse as all Ryan Murphy projects do. Once again, fucking Fight Me. The man's a hack.
I I also will maintain writers in general do not litigate on the page. Just
Mhm. It's a
don't. You
bad
can't
idea.
you can't predict the future. And now it's no longer art. It's just
Mhm.
dumb agitprop.
Yeah. Also, spoiler alert, we're going to go into that whole thing of Jill Stein's stolen election in episode 2 of this because there's a lot to
Ooh.
talk about before we talk about Jill Stein, especially because, mentally, I think Jill Stein operates as a sort of tulpa for liberals that didn't exist until 2016.
Hmm.
And she has a ton of history before then that's like interesting and kind of fun at times, but there's also parallels to every election she's had since. And so it's very interesting to watch her evolution, but we'll get to that. So anyway, 2016 went well and also went badly at the same time. So they got
Sure, yeah.
1.4 million votes, 1.1%, finished in fourth. And going into 2020, the party nominated Howie Hawkins, who was one of the co-founders of the party, and he ran pretty much just on the idea of pulling together all the leftist parties under one banner. And pretty much to a T, they all said, fuck you, no. We're going to run our own guy, eat shit. And Howie ended up getting 0.3% of the vote and a million fewer votes than Jill Stein did in 2016. It was a
Ooh.
devastating dip for the party, but it felt more like a party reset because I think a lot of them realized that there was a lot of anger towards them and maybe laying low and just, taking it easy in 2020 is probably the way to go. Or at least that's the feeling I got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, as such, the Green Party had a lot of ground to make up this year, and they had no clear front runner going into the election. It was assumed that Howie Hawkins might run again, but in 2023, he made it abundantly clear that he does not ever want to run for president again.
Oh, Howie.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost something like 27 or 28 elections. I think, losing the presidency is just like,
Holy,
it's a good button.
holy cow. Yeah.
Yeah. So the nomination was wide open for all comers. And in a situation like this, you'd kind of expect, I don't know, maybe some youth of the party stepping forward, or someone like a Kenneth Mejia, if you will. If you're unfamiliar with who that is, he's currently the comptroller of Los Angeles.
Oh, is he the guy responsible for those incredible billboards that went up that showed
100%.
just how much money went to the LAPD versus
Hmm.
like literally anything else?
Yep.
Yeah, he's
That's Kenneth
okay.
Mejia.
All right.
Yeah, he was initially a Green Party candidate for a number of years, and then for the election that he won for comptroller, that was after he left the Greens.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say a lot of this episode is going to be information that I've gotten from various Greens that I've talked to who wish to remain anonymous. So,
We see
take,
you, we support you.
but for those of you who don't, put a grain of salt if you're not huge into anonymous sources and things like that. And I thoroughly understand. One of the common things I heard about the California state Greens is that they are very, very adamant about clinging on to whatever power they have left. And so a lot of the youth in the California Greens do not have much opportunity to rise. And I kind of get the
Oh.
feeling that's what happened to Kenneth, is he was running some very unique campaigns in ways that Greens have never run before. Initially, when he ran, he went out and talked to people while two people in inflatable Pikachu costumes stood around him. Real charming shit.
Just make it fun. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It's LA, nothing serious.
Right. Yeah. And so he was very clearly an up and comer in the party, but if the party's not going to support him, then why should he stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like in many ways that could also, you could see a parallel to California Dems. Like, I mean, I'm thinking of like
Hmm.
Dianne Feinstein, who's just like sold, and Nancy Pelosi and all these people. It's just like, well, who is on the bench? Like,
Yeah.
who millennial and younger is around being mentored? Yeah.
That's 100% fair. And yeah, there's very, very clearly a ceiling to how far you can go in California politics, which, for as many assembly seats as there are in state senate seats and local city council and mayor seats, it leads up to very little growth once you get to a certain point. So yeah, so ideally, this is the time that the Green Party will have a flood of people coming in to audition and really show their stuff, to turn the page and create a new era in the party. But the party does have one thing that everyone needs to beat if you want to run for president, and that is the thing that many believe keep the party safe: pages and pages of bureaucracy. The Greens have a fuck ton of rules.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, they have rules for running for president. So when you run, you're judged by 9 metrics, and you're judged specifically by the Presidential Campaign Support Committee. And if you hit these 9 metrics, you're considered a fully recognized candidate. If you hit most of them, you're a partially recognized candidate. And if you at least let them know you're trying to run, then you are an acknowledged candidate.
God.
Yeah. Would you like to hear what the 9 matrices are?
I do, but I also just want to comment that these guys must be absolute beasts at the D&D table.
Oh my God. I would want to say kind of yes and kind of no, because I feel like you're constantly going to be arguing whether or not if a dice rolls on the floor, if the roll counts or not.
100%. And that's what they get off to. Like
Just
they
flipping
want
someone's
that.
table repeatedly over that. Just
Yeah,
constantly doing,
hit me with the matrices.
All right, all right. So the very first thing that you have to do is fill out a candidate questionnaire. Una, I would like for you to try to answer the candidate questionnaire that I have before me because it's online for
I
anyone
c-
to see.
100%. I can't wait.
Luckily there's only 15 questions.
Oh my God.
All right. So let's say Una O'Leary, you're running for the Green Party nomination.
I am.
Step one, you are invited to submit a video, a suggested length of about 3 minutes, in which you deliver your core campaign message. This submission is highly recommended, but not required to return this questionnaire.
Mm.
All right, that's a no. I do not plan to submit a video. Done. What is your core message? What are your key positions? 4. Will you advocate for the platform of the Green Party? If there is a significant platform position that you cannot support, please say why. Saying no to this, I think, is a bad idea because Greens make a very. I'm sorry, I'm just now realizing there's nothing here for you to answer because you're not running for the party. But the Green Party platform, question 4, is really really tough because the Greens are very hardcore about people following what is known as the 4 pillars and the 10 key values.
Oh my God. Okay. This sounds like I'm signing up for like weight loss, nutrition, all in one body metamorphosis,
Yeah,
and I'm actually being inducted into a cult. Like I'm
100%.
getting MLM'd.
Yeah, you're getting Orange Theoried.
Uh,
See, oh, and this has to be maxed out at 100 words. You can't go beyond 100 words to talk about this. And after looking at a number of the websites for the campaigns that we're running, I don't think anyone adhered to this. 5. Communication of views. Please provide a URL for any written materials or videos that demonstrate your ability to speak, debate, or communicate your views. 6. Organizing goals. What are the principal, practical, measurable organizing goals that you would achieve by your 2024 GPUS presidential campaign? 7. Campaign organizing. How would you envision your campaign organizing to achieve the organizing goals listed in 6 above?
oh my God. The problem is that this self-selects for Virgo losers.
Yeah, there's a very specific Myers-Briggs that goes with this. Did you listen to the new maintenance phase about the Myers-Briggs?
Yes,
Oh my
loved
god.
it.
Just love the fact they had to switch it around so it wasn't the BM test.
They
Beautiful.
were right to do that.
Oh, agreed. It was the one decision that was good. 8. Party building. Presidential campaigns are legally independent entities from the political party whose nomination they received. At the same time, an important objective of the party's presidential efforts is to build Green Party capabilities at all levels. How do you envision your campaign working with the greater Green Party to strengthen the different levels of the party? 150 words max. So the funny thing about this too is the Green Party itself is not doing this. Just for fun, I've been keeping track of the third parties throughout the running federal and statewide races, as well as third parties running in state legislatures. The Green Party has about 50 to 60 candidates so far running for federal race for like Congress, Senate, governor, things like
Mhm.
that. In state legislatures, there's around 5,500 that are listed right now. Ohio, Massachusetts, and Connecticut haven't released their lists yet. But of those 5,500 open seats that are available to run, the Green Party is running in 19.
Yeah, because they can't get enough candidates because they have this friggin' questionnaire.
Right. So by the time that they approve a candidate, it's already too late to do any of this work.
It's 2 years later. It's midterms, baby.
Yeah, like this is finishing right about the time that some states have already finalized their list of candidates, and just out of the kindness of most states are allowing people to put in like stand-in candidates until they officially name who's running.
It's so frustrating because, like, I feel like you and I could not throw a stick in Chicago without hitting someone who would be thrilled to get involved,
Hmm.
to vote for, like anyone where it's like, yeah, I'm Democrat, and frankly, at this point, like, I need someone who's progressive. I need someone
Hmm.
who's extremely progressive, and especially in
Right.
Chicago, where it's just like it's a mono party, and so you
All
just
right.
have the shades of, progressive to conservative within that one range
Hmm.
to suddenly have someone be like, no, I'm representing the Green Party, and like, here are all the things we're doing. And yeah, but instead we get the Six Sigma Delta pillar.
Yeah. 9. Unifying the party. The Green Party is a diverse party with chapters in urban, suburban, and rural communities. It includes Native Americans, immigrants, Black Americans, and white Americans of many different economic levels. It includes LGBTQIA plus people, straight people, unemployed people, joke here, retired people, professionals, union members, business owners, and people from many walks of life.
Hippies, squares.
Dweebs,
Yeah,
losers.
yeah,
Sorry, Green Party is.
yeah. Cool jocks.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Homecoming queen. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah. I'm glad we ended on that. What is the vision by which you could be the nominee who receives support from all the diverse members of the Green Party? 120 words max.
Well, this is more psychotic than like the 3-minute answers at Miss USA pageants.
Oh,
Like
100%. Yeah.
what it should be, honest to God, like considering some of the other fakakta third parties we've talked about, it would be great if this were just a statement of this, like, hey, here's everyone that we're hoping to represent.
Mhm.
So bigots to the left,
Yeah.
like, be aware that like we're here to serve marginalized communities.
hmm Yeah. 10. Data sharing. After the campaign, will you share your email lists and donor lists with the Green Party? Ooh, senpai.
Yeah. Hey, it looks like you're really type A and put together. Can we cheat off you?
Right? It's very, I mean, look, if you're running for president for a party, yes, that should be a given. But the way this is written sounds
It,
so sad.
it's so sad.
I mean, I'm glad they're getting it in writing, but still. Voter registration. How are you currently registered to vote? Party registration, if applicable. In which state are you registered? 12. History with the Green Party. What specific offices or positions, if any, have you held within the Green Party at either the state or local level? If none, describe any instances in which you worked in collaboration with the Green Party. 13. Offices sought or held, just your history of what you've run for.
Okay.
14. Relevant biographical note. What other personal background, professional qualifications, or life experiences do you have that are relevant to you being an effective candidate for president? 150 words max. It's
So
30 words more important than how you're going to unify the party.
it's also so triggering because now it just starts to sound like those writing, not residencies, but basically those mentorship programs through ABC, Disney, or HBO. Where it's just
Yeah.
like, what makes you different? Why should we pick you? I'm like, literally nothing. I'm a
Yeah,
white
right.
woman. I'm just trying to get my foot in the door.
I don't know anyone who works here. That is like
Yeah.
the worst thing I could say about myself going into this job. Please have mercy. And then for further information, give us your website or Facebook, your telephone, and please attach a digital file containing a photograph of yourself suitable for posting online along with your questionnaire. So this last one made me remember a minor scandal that happened in the playwriting world about a decade ago.
Oh, do tell.
There was a theater that was asking people to send their headshots along with the plays that they submitted. With I'm sure very much the innocent thing of just like we just want to have this ready if we select it, so we can just start the promotional tools. What people took it as was them taking it as an opportunity to say, I don't know, make sure no black people got in, or like make sure like no uggos, and was just using
Oh
like who's
boy.
going to be the most photogenic and easy to market.
I see it on both. What's funny to me is that it is like that is standard practice for a lot of jobs in France. It's like it's
Oh,
just
really?
expected that you send in a headshot. And I think in that case, it is just France owning up to the fact that it's like, yeah, we don't want any uggos.
Yeah.
So
It is
yeah,
France.
yeah, yeah. And it was just
Sorry, our one listener in France.
je suis désolé.
Thank you for
But
starting to listen to us for our Eurovision thing.
we hope we are improving your English. But yeah, it was one of those times where I was like, very rarely, but every so often I am glad to live in the States where there are certain like not even I don't think there's any law about it, but it's like it's just bad form for the reasons you just described.
So that's step one to running for president.
Oh my
One of the
God.
first major.
I'm already so tired.
The rest are pretty quick.
Okay.
Two, be a member of the Green Party in your home state. Present
Okay.
to them a ballot access plan on how you're gonna get on the ballot in all 50 states. states.
That's your job, Green Party.
Right. Yeah, it very much feels like getting a sales job, but you have to bring all your contacts.
Yeah.
Have a campaign website, which I'm very glad they include that. It has made research for this so much easier. Get 250 signatures of support by party members with a maximum of 125 from one state. File with the FEC. Fundraise $5,000 or $2,500 from 250 donors. Take part in the Green Party state primaries, of which only 21 states out of the 50 hold primaries, and attain as many Green Party national convention delegates as you can.
It seems
So,
like I'm doing an awful lot of work for them.
well, would it surprise you that only one candidate got all nine?
Yes. Well, in the sense that anyone, period.
Yeah. Well, spoiler alert, it's the woman who's already done it twice before.
Oh.
So yeah, you don't have to hit all these metrics to be a candidate for the convention, but it does dictate, a category of seriousness and where the party will place you. So in total, 6 candidates at least made acknowledgement status. But first, we kind of have to talk about the nominee that wasn't, the
Mm.
prohibitive favorite for a full 4 months, Dr. Cornel West.
Yes.
So, in June of 2023, Dr. Cornel West announced that he was running for president with the People's Party. We have previously covered the horror show that is the Movement for a People's Party. It's probably one of our best episodes, I'd say. It's probably only defeated, I think, by the adventures of Vicky C.
Vicky C.
Oh man, Victoria Woodhull is always going to be my favorite set of episodes, I think, no matter what we do.
Oh.
I'd highly recommend going back and listening to that. But if you're short on time, the basic gist is that the Movement for a People's Party was a progressive party formed initially to get Bernie Sanders into the White House. They were going to coax him out of aligning with the Democrats, become the figurehead of the party, and then take over the duopoly by making the Democrats irrelevant.
What could go wrong?
I know. Well, what did go wrong is that Bernie refused to join and didn't even acknowledge their existence. So the party moved on with party founder Nick Brana as the chairman and the face of the movement. What followed was years of running absolutely no candidates in any races, Brana leading at least 2 purges of party membership for questioning his motives and morals, and
Ooh.
allegedly committing sexual assault of a party member on multiple occasions.
Ugh.
Oh, and then kicking out leadership for looking into the accusations.
Yeah, it's not great.
And throughout all of this, from the beginning to, June of 2023, Cornel West was a steadfast ally. He's the whole reason that Brana even got even a bit of major publicity, as he took him onto Democracy Now! To talk about the movement. Cornel served as a party advisor, and with agreeing to be the presidential nominee, he was the party's first ever official candidate.
Mm.
And within a week and a half, the pushback was enough for Dr. West to announce that he was leaving the People's Party and instead was running for the Green Party. In the long run, this is probably, better for Nick Brana because, that's how he got to work in the RFK campaign as like the head of ballot access.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
failing the fuck up.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, and now
Ugh.
he's a featured speaker in the upcoming independent national convention for all the third parties.
I hate it.
It's the worst. It's the fucking worst. Anyway, so yeah, Dr. Cornel West leaves when there's enough pushback and he joins the Green Party. And leading this cause to get West on board is none other than Jill Stein. And like I said, we're going to cover Jill later, but this was more than enough to shut down any rumors that Jill was going to run, especially now that Howie's out. So back then, we had some fucking feelings about this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to hear them, I would highly recommend hopping over to patreon.com/gadflypod, where you can
Ooh.
hear our Lost Cornel West episode,
Oh, snap.
which we've never released because it's massively out of date. Because, yeah, fun thing with this campaign, shit happened so often that week after week shit would get out of date.
I feel like that's the theme of this election year
Mm.
too.
Oh,
Like
God, yeah. It's
like
why
the
we never did an
whole
RFK episode.
yeah, yeah. And then just like the moment to moment in what, late June or no, it was early August with the Dems and
Mhm.
whew.
Yeah, it's been a weird election.
But also an election should only be 90 days, people.
Oh my
Like
God. If we could
that's
just
all we need.
if we could just take British parliamentary rules for elections, I'd be
Rip it
so
off like a
happy.
band-aid. Yep.
It's 1 month. You're voting for the party, not the person. There's like 18 parties, and it's fine. It's fucking fine. So, in the meantime, this
Yes.
move seemed huge for the Green Party. Not only
Great.
did they have a well known and respected nominee, but it shut down any need to worry about a more difficult convention on the horizon. And for the summer, Jill Stein served as the campaign's interim campaign manager, and folks got to work on getting the Green Party on as many state ballots as they could. And towards the end of the summer, Stein stepped aside, and Peter Dow, the former campaign manager for Marianne Williamson's 2024 campaign, was named as Dr. West's full time campaign manager. And all seemed well on the surface. But behind the scenes, things were getting really wonky. And once again, I'm going to say this is all anonymous information, but I've heard from enough people who have said the exact same thing that I tend to believe that this is true. So, allegedly, Dr. West got very irritated with the 9 metrics that he had to hit to be considered a fully recognized candidate, which,
You know what? I mean, that is the thing about having like this frigging questionnaire is I do appreciate the fact that they're just like, no, literally everyone has to do this. No
Mhm.
one is above the metrics.
Right, right. And like, I'd get frustrated and not fill it out, but also I'm not running for president. If I was like really
Mhm.
serious about doing it, yeah, you could knock out those 9 metrics in like a weekend.
Don't you have an assistant? Like someone,
Right?
yeah, a team?
He fucking does, because I've emailed them. Ugh. So yeah, so that's part of it. The other thing that seemed to really piss him off is that the Green Party was like, okay, cool, you're doing the 9 matrices, but we'd also really like it if you debated the other people running, because that's what the Green Party members expect. They want to see
Yeah,
how everyone compares, even if they're all just going to vote for you anyway.
show your stuff.
And from what I've been told, Cornel West took immense umbrage to this, that the nomination clearly was going to be his, so they might as well just give it to him. And anything else is just making him do performative bullshit.
But you're gonna have to debate in like,
It's funny you say that because in the third party world, third party folks don't get invited to the major debates on TV.
yeah,
But there is a third party debate organization called Free and Equal Elections that do third party debates. Jill Stein's been to all of them. Chase Oliver's been to all of them. Randall Terry's been to all of them. Claudia de la Cruz of the PSL's been to them. Cornel West has refused the invitation every single fucking time because I
mhm,
think he feels he's above it. He doesn't need to do this. But yeah, it's admittedly, I think everyone knew that he was going to get the nomination. That wasn't up for question. And
mhm.
these bureaucratic rules, while a pain in the butt, do really protect the Green Party from being, just kind of used by people who just want
Yeah,
to want an easy skate to a nomination and then just
protects
dip out the second they lose.
protects them from starfuckers for
Exactly.
sure.
Yes, yes. I wrote ne'er-do-wells. Starfuckers is better. And so when Dr. West refused to debate or even join the party officially, the cracks started to show. Less than a month after Stein stepped aside and Dow was hired, Cornel West dropped out of the Green Party race to run as an independent. And since then, Dr. West has made it abundantly clear how much he just hates Jill Stein and the Greens. Once again, I talked to some people to try to figure out what the heck was going on because the Cornel West campaign sure as fuck doesn't answer any emails about goddamn anything. I'm not bitter. I just have good questions, but God forbid
I
Cornell would
just
ever
thought I
answer
was
a question.
I just thought I was dealing with a presidential candidate,
Yeah.
the team that would respond to the press.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I figured that a guy who's only on 15 state ballots would have the time to talk. Anyway, so the interviews that Cornell has done deriding Jill Stein alludes to a deep betrayal that led him to believe that he could never trust the Greens or Jill Stein throughout the election. And some people I've talked to believe the specific betrayal was that Jill Stein refused to leave the Green Party and join Cornell on his doomed independent run.
That's it. Oh, like, well, duh. And
Yeah.
also, why does he need Jill Stein so badly? Like,
Great question. Others have anonymously posited that West took more umbrage at party members who were kind of judgy towards the chaotic nature of his campaign. Specifically, there were aspects of nepotism that seemed to guide his decision making instead of actually listening to the people he hired to help him.
ruh-roh.
Yeah. And if anything's kind of borne fruit, it's if you disagree with him, you're not staying on the team for long.
Oof.
But either way, Cornel West is now out. He's gonna get on the 50 state ballot without the Greens citation needed. And the Greens now had 10 months to coalesce around a new candidate for president. And look, we all know that Jill Stein's the person who's gonna win this. It's on the news. She's been doing interviews. You sent me a Wonkette article today. There's no surprise here. but she has a ton of history to cover, and that's, spoiler alert, gonna be part two. So instead, we're going to talk about the other five candidates that stepped forward to get kind of an idea of what the Green Party was working with and what they might have had to face if Jill Stein stuck to her guns and refused to run for president for a third time. And I'll say this, Jill Stein did say after Cornel West dropped out that she did not want to run for president this year. And I 100% believe her because 2016 sounded like hell. And
Yeah.
every day of her life since 2016 has sounded like hell.
Yeah.
She did ask Ajamu Baraka, who was her vice presidential running mate in 2016, to run for president. She noted that Ajamu Baraka is incredibly good at saying no, so that you don't ask him a second time. So good on him.
Yeah. Should teach a seminar.
Right? Oh my God, that'd be really, really great. Just one really good masterclass.
Yeah. I'd throw money at that.
So first, let's start with the candidates who did just enough to get acknowledgement status. They sent an email to the presidential committee of the Green Party, finishing last at the convention with 0 delegates.
Oh,
Is self-proclaimed prophet Robert Cook IV of either Dallas or North Carolina. I can't really tell. Now, for new listeners, we have a hard and fast rule here not to make fun of mental distress or illness. So everything that we do have to note on Robert's campaign site, we're going to engage with it as best we can and in as good faith as we can. The rule I kind of have is if someone says something that does not seem to be based in reality, I still want to treat what they are saying as if it is,
okay. Yeah.
because I think it's more fair to like go about it in that way instead of just immediately shoving it off and being dismissive. So, Robert doesn't have much of a bio, but he does have a mandate from Christian God. Quote, this campaign is the greatest cause on earth that you can give to right now. This campaign is a holy campaign. You have 0 excuses for not giving to this campaign. I am the only person on this planet that can defeat Joseph Biden and Donald Trump and defeat them at the same time. I don't know if you heard it, but every other word is capitalized.
Oh, I heard it.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Yeah, this statement is still better than Taylor Swift AI picture posted by Trump. So good
Yeah.
on him.
True. So his proof of his ability to do this lies in numerology.
Yes. Hell yes.
He notes that Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joseph Biden all share one thing in common. Their first names are 6 letters long, their last names are 5. That adds up to 11, and in the Bible, 11 represents destruction. Robert Cook also has a name that has 6 letters in his first and 5 letters in the last. And for him, he stated that this means he is the 4th seal. How familiar are you with Revelations?
Like, not at all.
I was gonna say I don't feel like Catholicism is super deep into teaching Revelations that often. So, the 4th seal is probably the most famous section out of Revelations. It's, chapter 6, verse 7 and 8. Quote, so I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the name of him who sat on it was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given to them over a fourth of the earth, to kill with sword, with hunger, with death, and by the beasts of the earth. So, president material.
Hell yeah. To your point earlier of having a British parliamentary system, it's like this guy would clean up.
Yeah, I think, I'd be interested in seeing what he could do with no other power around him. Also, I also have no clue how this particular message fits with the Green Party because, I mean, just as the basis, I'm sure there's evangelical Greens. Nothing's impossible, but the end times cannot be good for the environment.
No, in fact, that's a huge problem with modern day Christianity, isn't
Mhm.
it? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, the Earth's
yeah,
gonna die, so fuck it.
right. Litter like there's no tomorrow.
But if it's the Pale Rider of Death is showing up, it's not just people, it's all animals, it's plants, like everything the Green Party loves.
What I appreciate is that I feel like this level of certitude and Christianity is not what we see enough from, like, I don't know, Republicans or the right. It's
Mhm.
like I feel like there's something a little retro and fun
I get it. I get it.
about being the 4th seal.
Yeah, I mean, it at least shows that you've studied the Bible's greatest hits,
Yes,
which is
yes.
far more than some other people are doing, which is such a low bar.
It's yeah, exactly. No, exactly. We're getting the same like 5 Leviticus, sentences, and sometimes not even that. Sometimes
Yeah.
just straight up like that's nowhere in the Bible. Like I don't
Mhm.
even know where you got this.
Right,
And
right.
this is just like I feel a certain like King James, like essence
Hmm.
and yeah, and thunder and rhapsody. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah. So as for his platform, I'm gonna skip the prophetic stuff and just focus on policy.
This guy filled out the form.
He did not. He's only
Oh,
acknowledged. He only sent an email to the committee, and that
ah,
was it.
got it. Okay.
So, in his summary, he's anti-choice, supports abstinent-only sex education.
Yeah.
This is one where I am going to slip in a little bit of prophecy. He's against building the border wall at the southern border, not because it's wrong, but because it'll usher in a new Black Plague. I mean,
You
sure.
know?
He wants to give complete amnesty for all immigrants.
Okay.
Will pay off credit card debt incurred up to June 30th, 2023.
Jubilee.
He wants to abolish the death penalty,
Great.
place an embargo on China, eliminate the filibuster, mint $11 quadrillion worth of gold to fund reparations.
Okay.
He's against same-sex marriage, promises to print money until, quote, the ink runs dry, and he states that he would solve the genocide in Gaza by forcing them to create a single nation that he thinks should be called Israpala.
I mean, that's better than a lot of Christians who are just waiting for the second coming to
Yeah,
happen.
it's called Megiddo. Come on, man. Stick to your revelations.
I I
Yeah,
feel it's like
wait, yeah, if he's so big into revelations, why is he trying to actually solve the problem? The problem being there is what leads to revelations happening, or it leads to the tribulation, you fucking noob.
I love how confusing this is, like differently from my the usual confusion.
Yeah,
Like sure, obviously he's gonna be anti-choice and at least in this case, like anti-death penalty.
yeah.
But I just love the like painful lack of basic economics. Like even I know it's like, oh no, we do not want to be printing a shitload of money. That's not how it works. That's gonna fuck us completely.
Hey, do you want to know what the GDP of the world is? 101.3 trillion.
So just he's just gonna print out
You know how
the GDP of the world.
I should actually look up how much gold actually exists.
Yeah, which is another thing of like, do we have to send in our gold because it's a finite resource?
244 metric tons have been discovered. Of course, no one's going to say how much we haven't found yet. Either which way, he's going to destroy the world economy
Right.
to give people reparations, which will be completely worthless if he does it.
Yeah, it'll be Weimar Germany with reparations. Great.
Can you
Good
imagine
job.
pushing a wheelbarrow around, but instead of marks, it's just bullion?
A beautiful new way to fuck over black people.
Yep. My God. So all in all, I have no idea why Robert is a member of the Green Party, other than maybe he thinks there's some sort of numerology inherent in the name, and that that's proof that that's the way he should go.
I do
Um,
understand why he got 0 votes.
yeah. It's kind of based on the fact that Robert's page is kind of full of some unfulfilled prophecies that like the date has
Yes.
passed when they were supposed to happen. It's probably best not to assign reason and just move on.
In my mind, and I do not want to be corrected, but in my mind, his website is an old geosites page. Like there's
It's slightly better.
like the background is like that the moving images and everything's kind of 8-bitty. Yeah.
It's what it should be on. It's slightly better than that, which actually kind of
Okay.
makes me a little mad. Like most of the website design for these people is pretty decent, with like one being immeasurably the best,
Hmm.
but we'll get.
Okay.
All right. So up next, getting
Yeah.
a half of a vote.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, because one person split their vote between Jamu Baraka, who did not want to be president, and this guy, the state party co-chair of Florida, Randy Toller.
Randy.
So, of the six candidates, Randy has been the longest running party member of the Green Party, seeing that he was one of the co founders.
Oh my God. Okay, Randy.
Randy was born in the Chicago suburb of Elgin, and he grew up in Niles, Michigan.
Okay.
He got his Bachelor of Science in Public Admin from the University of Missouri, which led to a long career in computer software with IBM and CA Technologies. As for his time in the Greens, Randy states that he set up the very first FEC filings for the party, as well as their very first bank account. And in 1984, he ran for Congress in California's 43rd district in the Democratic primary because the Green Party wasn't an official party in California yet. He got almost no media attention. The only bit of news I could find on him came from a small claims court case that Randy filed against an official from the San Diego Gas and Electric Company. At some point, Randy had said that the nuclear power plants that the San Diego Gas and Electric Company were running were unsafe. And one of the representatives from the company called Randy a nut for claiming that. So Randy sued for defamation and demanded $700 in compensation. The court found in favor of the electric company official. So Randy took out a bottle of ketchup from his pocket, sprayed the official a couple of times, and said, "You have blood on your hands."
Oh, Randy.
Got him.
Nailed it.
Randy also invented cringe in 1984. It's really
Oh,
great.
no.
So Randy also lost the Democratic primary that year, coming in third out of three with 17.6% of the vote. Skipping ahead to 1993, Randy moved from California to Aurora, Illinois, another suburb of Chicago.
Hey, hey.
And a few months later announced that he was running as the Green Party nominee for mayor of Aurora. However, he announced in 93, and that particular election wasn't going to happen until 1997. And at
Good
this
to be
point,
prepared.
yeah, and look, I'll give him this. It's, at this time, he's the national director for the Green Party. I'm sure that's a demanding position. And if you're running third party, yeah, you need as much a head start as you can. What he did with his head start, though, is very interesting. The Chicago Tribune noted in 1996 that telephone poles in Aurora ended up getting plastered for years with Randy's mayoral campaign posters, which resulted in the city suing him for placing 300 signs on public property without permission.
Mm.
The suit was later amended to include damages for Randy placing bumper stickers on city buildings.
Randy, no.
Also, what part of this is environmentally friendly?
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Like, I get that posters are your only thing as of right now, but like, if you know the city's gonna throw them out, that's waste. That's completely against what you stand for.
Yeah, be walking door to door. Show how you're biking around town.
Like, are your posters made out of hemp? Like, and seriously, biking around town, put a sign on your fucking three-wheel pedal bike, man.
Oh,
So in the end, Randy got 6 months probation and was fined $200. That said, the real big news for Randy came after he condemned the city for spending $7,000 on an art exhibit on the Holocaust.
Randy.
Randy said, to quote the Tribune, quote, "The exhibit would appeal only to a narrow segment of the city's population that obviously has incredible political pull. The authorization of the exhibit is a slap in the face to African Americans and Hispanics in political power."
Wow, Randy was a Twitter comment before Twitter existed.
Yeah, just constantly posting the same post 300 times a day where no one needs it or wants it or asked for it.
Like he is the classic, like, hey, I really like pancakes. And someone says, why do you hate waffles? It's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not.
And then
Also,
he's just like, "Hey, do you want to know my favorite part of the protocols of the Elders of Zion?"
yeah, like, yeah, Randy, how are you going to start with like the Jews control everything?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, I hate to say this, man, but take a note from Nazis with more patience. Like, just be like, it's a waste of government money. We need the $7,000 to fix roads. Meh. But I mean, I kind of appreciate that you said the quiet part out loud, but fuck, man. Maybe
Yeah.
just don't think the quiet part or say it out loud.
Yeah, maybe maybe talk to someone.
Right? God damn. So there was inevitable blowback. But Randy replied by saying, quote, "I think people are using that just to gain publicity for themselves. There was no slight intended here.
Randy, you were using it for publicity purposes.
Sorry, not sorry. Bye." I wish YouTube was around. So I guess we do have to talk about what his official platform was for this mayor race. He wanted to increase city lighting to reduce crime. He wanted to teach cops Spanish, and he wanted to get tech firms more involved in local education.
Seems pretty harmless.
I
Like,
mean, comparatively, yeah, but also I don't
yeah,
think any of this solves the problems that you're wanting to fix.
no,
They're just like,
no.
I mean, if you want to fix the lights, you don't have to have a reason for it. You could just be like, I want to make the lights better.
Right. Como se dice hassling en español?
Yeah, this is great. Like horrific cops who are bilingual. Neat. But it really wouldn't matter though, because a week after his court case for the signs closed, Randy was told that he did not make the ballot. Candidates
Yikes.
were required to submit 426 signatures. Randy turned in 576, but according to the city election commission, 220 of those signatures were either from people who weren't registered to vote, hadn't updated their address in their registration, or were signed by people who did not live in Aurora.
Come on, Randy.
It's but don't worry, Randy's gonna file an appeal, and just to make it fun, he's also gonna sue the city for $1 million in damages.
No.
Green Party.
Yeah, it's like this is no different than any other schmuck running for office and either a Republican or Democrat. I
Hmm.
am not seeing like a
Yeah,
real like nuanced call to arms here.
yeah. There's a weird amount of fucking ego in this guy.
Yes.
It's not it doesn't fill me with much hope. By the end of the month, he drops his appeal and the lawsuit, and later that day announced that he is going to run a write-in candidacy for mayor. But if the newspapers are any indication, no one cared.
Mm,
Around 2004, Randy moved to Hillsborough, Florida, which is a suburb of Tampa, which remained his home ever since. He ran a pair of races for the Hillsborough County School Board in 2014 and 2016, finishing sixth in the first and fifth in the latter. And since it was a top two election, he did not win. Which brings us back to the convention. Randy's presidential platform is a lot smaller than Robert Cook's, and he only has three planks, and they're short enough I might as well read them. Plank one, which is actually an exclamation point. I think he's holding the shift key for the parentheses, but just kept holding it for the one. Not a great start, but whatever. So, number exclamation point. Ecologism economics. So I had to look this up. Ecologism is a political term that states that any decision in the government should be made with the consideration of the environment and how it'll affect the people living in it.
yeah.
Not a bad idea, not a bad
Yeah.
theory. I did read a statement from Georgetown Press that said some sects of ecologism believe that adherents of the theory should seriously consider the idea of the world being better without people.
Okay.
Which, yeah, look, I'm biased. I'd rather not, but I think you can make an argument. Like,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure there's a deer who will agree with you.
Right, right.
So yeah, so he wants to implement that as an alternative capitalism, socialism, or communism. Two, foreign policy focus of an international Green Party alliance to pressure the UN to hold war crime tribunals for Israeli government officials. Also, step up campaign against Hollywood, West Coast tech, Wall Street, and New York mass media for supporting the government of Israel. Now, if I had not read that he had weird shit to say about a Holocaust art project, I would just
Yeah.
take this as like, anti-Zionism.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with that
But
context, I am worried, Randall. I'm a little
yeah, no,
worried.
this is a very classic when people show you who they are, believe them. Like,
Right.
no, this is actually like a breath away from anti-Semitism. That's what's really backing
Yeah.
this.
Man, if I just had never seen that Chicago Tribune article, Randy, you'd be off the
Yeah, we could be blissfully ignorant.
Ugh. And three, this is a hard one to describe because it's kind of word salad.
Nice.
It talks about bioregionalism, which is an idea that we shouldn't be focusing on states individually to fix them. We should be focusing on bioregions in America. So, like the Mississippi River Valley or Appalachia, like places that are
Yeah,
more interconnected by environment.
makes sense.
Yeah, it perfectly makes sense. I don't really get what it has to do with everything else because he also kind of talks about how we should fix the US banking system because it only helps the coastal parts of America and there's inflation and like there's really no explanation on how bioregionalism is going to fix that even though it is a fine idea.
Right.
And that's it. That's Randy.
Cool.
Yeah. So rounding out the acknowledged candidates, we have easily one of the most interesting people in I think every primary that we've looked at.
Ooh.
New York City's own Davi.
What name?
One name.
Nice.
So Davi refers to himself as a musician, choreographer, a tech founder, and an avatar. Now, what he means by the last title is that he can communicate telepathically with, thus far, dragonflies, lizards, and bees.
Those at home shaking my head.
Yeah. He does have a video of him conversing with a dragonfly, which he named, and they
Oh.
apparently the two had a therapy session together. He's like, "I'm worried about running for president," and the dragonfly is like, "Technology is terrifying. Quit pointing that at me." which, yeah, I'd imagine Dragonfly would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I should note that Davi does have some conspiracy theory stuff on his site, but it's the sort of conspiracy theory stuff that falls into the realm of mostly harmless. It's like
Okay.
UFOs and Atlantis was a thing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's like it's the stuff that I really love. It's like Sasquatches and like,
Yeah.
perfectly fine stuff. And I also have to say that Davi has probably put together one of the most comprehensive websites of any of the third-party candidates I've reviewed because a lot of the word manifesto is on the front page because he did write a manifesto that's like 400 pages long. Um,
Oh.
and the page definitely has enough tabs that you can go through that it should be that GeoCities explosion with gifs and madness. But the page is so well made that you can like it's very easy to navigate through all of it.
Okay.
As
Okay,
for
Avatar.
right. So as for a bio, Dovey states that he was born in Hartford, Connecticut, and grew up in both Virginia and Connecticut, I believe splitting time with his mom and dad. And he moved to Manhattan after getting accepted to New York University.
Ooh.
He spent his free time performing in jazz clubs and cafes. He does end up getting his degree from NYU in like I forget what it's called, but it's that thing in colleges where you can just kind of make your own degree.
Yeah. Okay, like an independent major.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so his was like a mix of music and choreography, and like it sounded really interesting, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. So in 2012, he released his first album. It's kind of more of an EP. It's like four different songs on it. All right, no, it's like six, and they're all fairly short. And it's not quite my thing, but it's far and away better than the other discography I had to listen for this series. Warning, next episode. Um, and in 2015, he released a single called Clear that, according to him, got a ton of play in Italy. However, he didn't see any royalties from the song. And so, of course, this is where my fact checking radar shows up. It's like someone's making a lot of claims. He also claimed his first album came out. When it came out, it was at a party, or the party where the album came out was hosted by Melvin Van Peebles, the legendary blaxploitation director and dad of Mario Van Peebles.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's like there's like a lot of claims being made that, feel like lying and feel like bullshit. And so I started looking into this, and it's possible that his song did get played in Italy, but based on the amount of views that it has on YouTube, resting at around 740, and that's after 9 years of it being published, I'm pretty sure he didn't get royalties because it just didn't take off.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Other than that, damn near every event on Davi's biography about music and choreography checks out. It's 100%
Okay.
everything he says yeah. So I don't know how to deal with this. I mean, at one point he said he was signed to a decently big indie music label that was partnered up with Warner Brothers. True, he was signed in 2015, and that's how that song ended up in Italy.
Great job, Javi.
He claims he did choreography for a Craig Robinson movie back in 2013. True, he did. He did that. He's on the IMDb. He also claimed he founded two tech companies. Also true. He founded them both the same fucking year.
Damn, okay.
And from what I could read, they were starting to take off. One is called a Viginary, Viginary, which was a live performance app that people could interact with.
Cute.
And the second was called Clef Play. You're going to cringe a little bit on this, but remember, it's 2016, so this is before these things were like awful. So Clef Play is a blockchain-based tool to pay royalties to musicians.
I appreciate that it's trying to do some good.
Right. And yeah, it's like the whole reason he even made up Clef Play is because he was having trouble with royalties and he figured I might as well make it easier.
Well, I also wonder if he's complaining about the royalties, but it was before we knew just how little Spotify paid
I
anyone.
think it's probably more of that too.
Yeah.
So Clef Play ended up signing a contract with Deezer, which is like a French podcast addict sort of website. It closed down, I think, this year or a couple years ago. But the problem though is the pandemic happened, and both of his companies ended up closing due to the pandemic. But everything that I read about them, every accolade, every like news article checks out. It's 100% real.
Buffalo, what are you doing here in the Green Party?
Maybe he can talk to dragonflies. Maybe he really can do that. So, to get a little serious, I do feel compelled to say this one thing. I'm not really sure what to make of it or what to take out of it or to what assumption to make, but in the midst of the pandemic in 2020, that's when Davi discovered his powers and took the title of Avatar of Earth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to like go into a diagnosis thing, but he mentions it on his website. Important, I think, to mention. And until more clarifying things come to pass, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna leave it there. So let's dive into the 22-page PDF that is his campaign platform.
Whoa.
Don't worry, it's not all of it is policy and stuff. It's a mix of stuff that's on the website and some policy. That said, I think that if I were to so time is short, so it's all broad strokes from here on out. And what Davi is proposing is a one world government called Earth Order. And the best way I can summarize it would be blockchain communism. Una, it appears you died.
This is Una's soul and avatar continuing on from here. Break down the communist blockchain for me because if anything, I feel like why have I not heard this
Yeah.
mashup of two words before?
So I'll let two things with it. All right. So let's just go over with, what exactly it is. So Earth Order, the entire job it's going to have, it's going to be its own sort of organization based in New York City. It approves all businesses, guarantees that everyone gets equal salary for the work they do. The government owns all homes. There's free healthcare, and quote, everyone votes for everything via the blockchain. Like every American citizen downloads an app, and every single day you vote on the blockchain for policy.
That's exhausting. No, no. Also, we don't even pay our UN dues. So we can just stop right there with this whole world single organization.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna vote on, do I have a job? Are jobs irrelevant now?
I mean, everyone's getting the same salary, and I think it's, you can apply for a job and then the government finds you a job.
I like the idea of us all having the same salary. I do like
Yeah.
that. I'm not gonna
Right,
lie.
right. I mean,
Yeah,
it is,
that would be nice.
communism 101.
Yeah.
Like everyone's fine, everyone's good. So this is actually creating the Earth Order is actually part of the big plan idea he has called American Refresh, which Davi describes as a 3-year plan in which equality will be realized in America and fixed so that everyone's equal. Free energy will be unlocked. Rates of recycling will be higher. Medical systems will offer both Western and natural holistic options. And the capital is going to be moved from Washington, D.C. to Earth Order headquarters in New York City. And Davi will do this via emergency authority, which will then lead to New York City becoming its own state, as well as a spiritual version of the Vatican.
I mean, if you talk to any New Yorker, it already is. Am I right?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I mean, I saw Pizza Rat. There's magic there.
I, you know what? Fine.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
dream big. You are clearly a New Yorker who has lived on the island too long.
I mean, I'll give him this. It's at least a set of steps that makes sense.
Yes.
Like if you're using emergency authority to do something, which technically the Supreme Court just said the president can do, like when he wrote this, that wasn't a thing the president could do. He kind of sort of fucking predicted that he could do this.
He told his dragonflies, man, go out there, make it happen.
Fuck up Amy Coney Barrett and make
Fuck
sure the
them
president
up.
can do anything. So I do feel compelled to say that the whole blockchain communism thing, it kind of got stole from Davi as well. There is a group of essentially far-right fascist communists, quote unquote, called the American Communist Party.
No.
That like the worst
That's
people
an
you've ever.
oxymoron.
Yeah.
Fasci communists? This is
Oh yeah.
terrible.
Oh, they suck. They suck on ice. Just imagine the worst people you've ever met online or at a bar at 2:30, and those are the people who are like leading the American Communist Party.
Good Lord.
Membership is in the party is approved by the blockchain. You have to have like a hex number to prove that you're a member. A lot of people already think a crypto scam is going to pop up out of this, but none has yet.
Great.
Yeah, but they stole it from fucking Davi. Like Davi at least had an idea.
Yeah, to promote for good,
Yeah, yeah.
ultimately.
Like the motherfucker has policy. All the
Yeah.
all the American Communist Party has done is like occasionally picked up trash and tried to hand out free pickles in Rosemont, which does not have much of a population. They have
No.
fun little fact here, Rosemont, another suburb of Chicago. All they have is airport hotels,
Mhm.
convention centers, and 4,000 people who don't want to live in Rosemont. And also one of the most corrupt governments in the city.
Yikes.
So,
They don't need those pickles.
yeah, I'm sure your rancid ass fridge pickles turned out great.
Ugh.
And why Rosemont? I don't fucking get it. Whatever. So
Because
I'm
then they
sure
didn't have to be on the blue line for that long. It was just a stop and then they got off.
oh my god, that's probably very true. I mean, we'll talk about him someday, not today. Not today, Satan. So Davi also stated that his goal, whether he was nominated by the Green Party or that if he continued on as a write-in candidate, is to get 80% of the vote, which is frankly dictator numbers. And just when I was ready to bail early, just to be like, all right, I'm fine with most of this. Some of this is weird. I noticed what might be a red flag in his in conclusion section. And I really want to get your opinion on this to make sure I'm
All
not
right.
reading into stuff.
All right.
Quote, new laws are being made to sexualize our precious children. What?
No.
Yeah, yeah, you thought the same thing I fucking did?
Yep.
Yep, that's a anti-trans dog whistle, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were this close, Davi. You were this fucking close.
And it's like all of his other like esoteric weirdness is like, you're gonna hate trans people? Are you
Yeah,
kidding
right?
me?
Right. This is blockchain communism. Bring in everyone, you motherfucker.
Yeah, you should be against the binary.
Right? Like bees fucking don't hate trans people, probably. I
No,
assume.
they're conduits to other worlds.
That's hornet shit.
Yes. Wasps. You want to be a wasp?
Right. So anyway, Davi got 2 votes at the convention and finished fourth. And now, honorable mentions. So it really wouldn't be a convention without the most feared candidate crashing the party. You know him, you love him. Finishing third, and the winner of the Montana primary is none of the above, which got 10 delegates.
Pew pew pew
Fucking
pew.
love. Also, I do have to mention a guy named Jorge Zavala of California. Jorge was one of the 2 candidates to get partial recognition as a candidate, but he didn't get any votes at the convention. And I have a couple of theories on this. One is that he never really turned in his FEC paperwork on time. For each quarter, I compile who has cash on hand and do like a Twitter thread on who has how much money and things like that. And Jorge was always like a month late and like filed the wrong year at least once, where he's like, oh, this is for
No,
December 25th, 2024. And it's like, Jorge, no,
no,
the future does
Jorge.
not care, my dude. But the big reason I think also that people decided not to go with him is that on his campaign website, there's a plank that he has dubbed water vortex. Are you familiar with the concept of a water vortex implosion?
No.
Quote, water has many mysteries and property dynamics that modern man is only beginning to understand. When we create a vortex in a pipe while water is flowing, it breaks down water clusters, making the water more soluble, balanced in minerals and nutrients, and easier to spread and absorb. It also gives water antibacterial properties that can kill germs and viruses.
Oh no. And for 39.99 a month, you can order this specific pipe that will water vortices your home.
I will give Jorge this. He is not doing a grift. He's not
Okay.
selling shit. He just really
Okay.
likes this idea. And the theory goes all the way back to an Austrian named Victor Schauberger, who, believe it or not, was a forester who didn't do water science.
There it is.
His main claim to fame is that while he was working as a forester, he developed a log flume that increased productivity so much that it saved businesses a ton of money.
Ah.
But after creating the flume, he noticed that, like, water goes into a whirlpool, and he posited that a whirlpool or a screw-like shape is the natural state of the universe. Like that's why the Earth is going around the sun, is that it's a screw. And obviously, when you put things into a vortex, that's the natural state of things, and things get better when you do that.
I too have been high, but like I kept that shit to myself.
Right. Yeah, this like if you're a forester, these are the thoughts I assume you have if you've been in a fire tower without talking to anyone for 3 years.
Yeah, Austrians are also like when they're on the news, it's for something insane. You know?
Yeah, like most of them are just keeping their heads down and going about
Yeah,
life.
totally fine. It's a slightly conservative society, whatever. And but yeah, if they make the news, it's like bonkers.
Mhm.
This tracks.
Yeah, and so yeah, Victor was just like, yeah, if you blend your water, you get rid of bacteria. He also created a perpetual motion machine that the University of Queensland tested for a year before ruling out that it was complete bullshit and impossible to work.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you, University of Queensland.
so just know when you flush your toilet, you're actually purifying the water.
Right. And that's why I drink out of it afterwards.
Just empty it into a mug.
Oh God.
But yeah, apparently this is like a fairly popular theory amongst crunchy weirdos. So
No.
huzzah. Which brings us to our runner up, the last person we're talking about today. Nonprofit founder Jasmine Sherman of North Carolina. Jasmine was born in New York City and attained their bachelor's in business and master's in finance from the University of Phoenix. Aside from that, their history is pretty minimal. I was able to find about 5 newspaper articles that showed they worked with pro-choice Charlotte, mostly protesting anti-choice people whenever they showed up to abortion clinics. And in 2018, they founded their own nonprofit, Greater Charlotte Rise. So usually I'm very picky when it comes to nonprofit organizations, and I'm just ready to fly off the handle over any bullshit they pull.
Hmm.
Greater Charlotte Rise is doing some amazing shit, from what I can tell.
Yay.
And this is because they offer two of the hardest to find and most expensive services out there: rent and utility payment assistance.
Oh, that's
Typically, the
great.
typically the only orgs that do this are Salvation Army or Catholic Charities.
Hmm.
And Jasmine is non-binary, poly, and an atheist. So I have a feeling that, they know pretty well that some people don't feel welcome or comfortable going to those organizations for help.
And are providing a third option,
Hmm.
dare I say.
Exactly. They also offer job placement. They also have a free store of some sort. So yeah, it seems like they're doing really good work. So Jasmine has run their campaign with seemingly two big tactics. One, they are leveraging TikTok and Instagram far more than any other Green nominee. You might have actually seen one of their shorts. They go under the name Fat Socialist on Twitter and on TikTok and on Instagram. I've actually talked to a number of people who have no association with third party world who have had their algorithm invaded by Jasmine's TikToks.
Oh, incredible.
And two, Jasmine ran in as many third party conventions as they could. We previously mentioned Jasmine when they ran for and lost the Socialist Party USA nomination. They also ran for the Peace and Freedom Party nomination in March. The Peace and Freedom Party is an old party from the 60s. The only state where they're recognized anymore is California. But it is also the easiest way for leftists to make the ballot in California, which is notoriously difficult. So Jasmine ended up placing third out of three, losing to Claudia De La Cruz and Cornel West. But they did find success through the Green Party of Alaska. So despite the name, the Greens of Alaska were kicked out of the National Party in 2020. So as you remember, the Green Party said, hey, we want Howie Hawkins. And they're like, we don't want to split the vote in any way. So what we're going to do is try to make things harder for Trump. What we're doing is we're nominating former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. And so the Green Party National did not like that and kicked them out. So the Green Party this year in Alaska, it came down between Jill Stein and Jasmine Sherman, and Jill Stein refused to debate Jasmine, so they gave it to Jasmine.
Nice.
The problem, though, is the Alaska Greens still needed to collect 3,614 signatures, which they failed to do.
You have to get on a prop plane
Yeah.
to like go to places to get the signatures. Like
Mhm.
shit adds up.
Yeah. Well, and Jill Stein was able to make the ballot as an independent.
Ah,
Yeah. Now, the big backup plan that Jasmine had is in case they lost the National Green nomination and no other third party brought them in, they were just going to start a brand new party, the Unicorn Party, which, great name.
it's a great name.
The logo is really great too because it's a unicorn, but it's like has multicolored braided hair that looks the exact thing Jasmine does. Is they have multicolored braids as well, so it's like
Oh,
it's a really really cool logo. The problem though is once again Jasmine hasn't made any state ballots, and so far it doesn't seem like trying to qualify as a write-in candidate anywhere. So I think this plan to try to continue on as the Unicorn Party is pretty much done.
ah,
Jasmine has also made it a point to call out Green Party leadership during campaign, accusing them of tilting the scales towards Jill Stein and acting like Stein was the nominee from the second she announced she was running. In so many words, she also made the point that if something happened to Stein and she were to drop out, the Green Party would be fucked because there's no plan and you've already pissed off and spurned all the other nominees.
I mean facts.
Also called out the Green Party's electoral brass ring of getting 5% of the national vote. This has kind of like become the ultimate goal of the Green Party rather than, pretending like victory is what you want to try to do. Because if you hit 5%, the FEC suddenly recognizes you as a minor party. And when you get recognized as a minor party, you get more federal funding. And so if you go from like what they refer to as a new party or any party below 5%, no matter how long you've been around, if you hit that 5%, they give you a refund of your money or they like give you all the
Yeah.
money you would not have spent otherwise.
Hmm.
So it's The thing though is this hasn't happened in a really long time, so it's kind of hard to tell how much of an effect it's actually going to have on the party.
Right.
There's no idea if it's, that money has to go to the next presidential race or if they can, put it towards congressional races or local races or things like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big question mark. Some people think it's going to be the thing that pushes the Green Party over the edge. Other people think it's just a pointless goal that's going to do nothing and a waste of time. Jasmine, however, does see this tactic very differently. Quote, Jill doesn't want to win. I'll go on record as saying, I do not appreciate any candidate that is stealing from people with no intentions to do the job. That's why you only hear her talking about 5%. Every dollar that is taken by a candidate that does not want to win is theft, in my opinion. That's someone that is grifting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which brings us to the fun part, the platform. Jasmine has 30 planks. I am not going to go over all of them. And luckily, some are fairly concise, so I can like bunch them down really small. What we're going to do is I'm going to go rapid fire. So,
Great.
stop me when something sounds a little off.
Great.
All right. Abolish the police,
Okay.
abolish child marriage.
Sure. Yes. Well, you know what? No, that's fine. As a term, it's I'm starting to get semantics and we're trying to do rapid
Oh,
fire. So
the
yes.
the further semantics of that is like you can't be over the age of 18 and marry someone under 18. Like people under 18
Right.
with parental, permission can
Yeah.
still marry.
Right, right, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
For your low cost medical equipment, including service dogs.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
love that. I love it a lot. Forced retirement from government work at 65.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like congressmen, senators, people
Yeah.
working in the various departments. Like if you're a clerk, you hit 65, get the fuck out.
Take that sweet pension.
They endorsed Ted Cruz's bill to pass a constitutional amendment that limits senators to 2 terms and Congress members to 3 terms.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of being like, oh, I'll do Ted Cruz's thing.
Yeah, maybe don't name drop that. I don't know
Yeah.
if why you're reaching across the aisle now.
Make GMOs publicly owned and open source. Supports preventative COVID measures, including masking and vaccinations.
Yes.
Favors the death penalty, but only for mass killing events or serial killing. Also, there are now only 2 acceptable methods to use for the death penalty: morphine overdose or firing squad.
Whoa. Okay. All
A,
right.
a number of Greens that I have talked to said this was their breaking point.
I believe that.
Yeah. There are people who are very much in jail for multiple murders that they did not commit, which is
Yeah,
why a lot of people want to get rid of the death penalty.
it's it's one of those things where it's like in writing that the person is always considering like Charles Manson, and
Mhm.
the people reading it are always thinking about, yeah, someone who is on death row right now.
She supports death with dignity or euthanasia, decriminalize all drugs, decriminalize sex work,
Yeah,
vigorously enforce the Americans with Disabilities Act,
yeah,
ban the repair of housing in areas prone to avalanches, drought, flood, or mudslides.
yeah.
I will throw this at you though. There are a number of homes in New Orleans or Houston that are in a
Oh,
floodplain, and that's the only place where people can afford to live. And so if a hurricane floods out those homes, they are now homeless,
and
not allowed to
Katrina,
fix their house.
yeah, and Katrina showed us this, like, who are the people, like those homes are generations worth of family life.
Right.
Yeah.
Require schools to have firearms education and require all gun owners to have insurance. You look pain.
It's that's a classic, like, that's not an answer to the question that I asked. That's like,
Mhm. Well, the question that gave me is how much insurance are schools going to have to pay?
mm,
You have to have multiple guns for multiple students. And
yeah, I hear something like that. I'm just like, no, the problem is that like nothing is being checked right now. So why would insurance be checked? Like,
right,
what does that matter?
right. And like, are schools going to have real guns, or is it going to be airsoft guns? And then is there going to be an argument that airsoft guns don't actually teach you how to properly use a gun?
Yeah,
Yeah. Close all international military bases.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
All housing is now government owned via eminent domain. People will now use an app to either register where they are living or move into a vacant home via the app.
Nope.
The waiting list on the mansions that exist is gonna be wild.
Worst Airbnb
Oh
experience
God.
ever.
How does that work with wills? If people don't own their homes,
Mm.
but how is anything going to happen? This feels just like chaos of brewing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nationalize some utility companies, but they don't say which. Use taxes from the cannabis industry to pay for reparations.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not convinced that's going to be enough money because they want to give $4,000 a month for 4 years. I should have done the math on that.
And I mean, I feel like black-owned cannabis stores should be exempt.
Right, right. Excellent point. It's $192,000 per person. In America, there are 41.57 million black people. All right, that's $7.9 trillion over 4 years.
America, you must smoke the most weed now
Right. Yeah, I don't think the
as your
cannabis
civic
industry.
duty.
I should just, all right, how much is the weed industry national? Weed earnings national average. All right, it's not enough for them to be making statements. So I don't think the marijuana industry is bringing in $4.9 trillion worth of taxes at the moment. And I don't think they're going to
No,
do that. Oh, wait, that's every 4 years. So they need to bring in $1.9 trillion of taxes every year for this to work.
no, that's like Pentagon goes on a bake sale from here on out and all of the money gets diverted to reparations,
Okay, hear me
which
out.
which like I'd be for. Anyway.
Yeah, hear me out here. All right. So Jasmine wins. Robert Cook the Fourth, the Secretary of the Treasury,
Okay.
he makes enough gold bullion from the
Oh,
cannabis industry that it's fine
yes.
because it's quadrillions that he's dealing with. So he'll be fine.
Oh yeah, he is.
Motherfuck. All right. Dismantle Social Security and replace it with universal basic income.
No.
Yeah.
Porque no los dos.
Yeah. There are a number of people on the Green Party subreddit that are just like, why are you endorsing a heritage project idea?
Yeah, no, both. We
Yeah.
want both.
Right? Universal health care.
Yep.
And then my favorite. This is their anti-indoctrination policy. So it would ban religious indoctrination in public, private, and home schools. And religious
How?
indoctrination counts as anything that is taught as fact that is not fact. So like, I don't know, the resurrection or fuck, I don't know, revelations, all of it.
Yeah,
It hasn't
Noah's
happened yet.
Ark.
Yeah, Noah's yeah, fitting all those animals on a boat. It's, it would also ban proselytizing to children, which would include church.
Honestly, like this is where I get obnoxiously American because I'm like, yeah, no, like I hate it too, but you
Mhm.
also need to leave space for that. Just because
Right.
you don't believe in a God doesn't mean someone else should not believe in a God. That's not how it works.
I'm not even halfway through it. This feels like a manifestation of what every evangelical thinks people want who are atheists. And
Right.
just like, oh no, someone actually wrote it down and mean it.
Yes.
I think he wants to ban Sunday school, or at least calling it Sunday school, because it's not school, because it's mythology.
It also is like again focuses on like the wrong thing. Like there's so much going on with homeschooling right now
Mhm,
that is a problem that like really requires like a deep dive into systemic problems
mhm,
in our country. It is a symptom of a
mhm.
much greater problem. And here's this like fuck God, and I don't want to be proselytized to. When I'm walking down the street, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
hold up. That's really not the issue.
right. Oh, but wait, there's more. Vacation Bible School banned. Bible camp banned. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school banned.
What about quintessential Jewish day camps?
Banned.
No!
Yep. Also banned frats and sororities because they're a discriminatory secret society, which,
They
yeah,
I just don't I feel like
but they're also indoctrination.
I feel like if you're president of the United States, you have bigger things to deal with.
MLMs banned because they're indoctrination.
They should be banned for other reasons.
Right. And finally, child actors and child singers are banned from saying lines or song lyrics that they do not understand.
No,
So
that's
children cannot
acting.
sing hymns ever.
No.
Child actors are pretty much have to be at least a pretty decent education to be in anything, worth a damn.
They're there to hit the marks and then
Mm-hmm.
like help put together a good no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. And oh my God, how do you prove this? How do you enforce it? Like,
Yes.
are you just gonna hop onto the set of Abigail and just be like, tell me the moral imperatives of this vampire child? it's, reading through that whole thing and it being so close to the top is just like, it's unhinged. This feels like someone who just made a list of everything that wronged them at some point in time,
Yes.
like the church, frats and sororities, the child theater community, and just like
Sunday school, mom.
Avon. And just, it's
Hey, so what's your foreign policy? Fuck you. We're going to have no church camps.
right. It's like for the Green Party, this is incredibly fascistic. This is dictatorial nonsense that is being thrown out at this point.
Yeah.
And so at the convention, Jasmine got 13 votes, meaning, in a surprise to no one, Jill Stein won the nomination with 267 votes, or 91%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
It's
yeah.
I hate it makes me wonder what the like Jasmine said, what were you gonna do if Jill Stein wasn't gonna run?
Right.
Or if it got too late and she had to drop out? What was the
Yeah. Yeah. There was no plan.
Mhm.
They got lucky.
Yeah, they got very fucking lucky. And I still think we'll go over this. I still think it was a bad decision to like settle on this as an idea.
Hmm.
And not even counting, the things that Jill Stein has said or the beliefs that people have about her. Very simply, I think just her running as a concept at this moment is a strategically terrible idea going forward. But we'll get into that in the next episode. But before we do, Una,
Dusty.
fuck Mary Banish.
Yes. Okay. So I never go with names. Who was our numerology
That's
guy?
Avatar Davi. Wait, no, the numerology guy is Robert Cook the Fourth.
Oh wait, but no, I think no, hold on. I think I would fuck Davi because I think because I am a sucker for a musician. I'll
mhm,
just say it.
I get that.
Yeah, I think I would marry Jasmine because they wouldn't believe in marriage, and so it would just be like a nice, open,
Yeah,
communal, like respectful
yeah.
thing.
I mean, they are poly, and
Yes,
yeah, I
exactly.
think it would really depend on the polycule that's happening, if there is
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, who else is getting brought
Right,
into
right.
this
Yeah.
sitch? And then I would so who was our numerology guy? Robert?
Robert Cook the Fourth.
Robert Cook the Port. I would it's less of a banish and more like
Yeah.
blow back into the heavens,
Yeah.
Robert.
I think that's fair. I think I would flip Davi and Jasmine. I think I would fuck Jasmine just because I feel like the politics of a polycule, I don't think I'm suited for that. I
Oh,
think I'd be the
yeah.
most annoying person in that polycule and it would be a short marriage.
I would be a passenger princess on that scheduling for sure.
I'd just be sitting there like on the internet reading all the rules and just getting like sweat dripping down my face. It's like there's gonna be a quiz, I know.
Yeah.
I think I would marry Davi.
Aw.
Because I would like to believe I could talk him out of the hint of transphobia.
Oh, very nice.
And I think if I can get the dragonflies and the bees and maybe a new animal on board, I think that I could have enough of a team to help.
Yeah, I like this plan.
Banish. I mean, I think I got to go with you on Robert. It's definitely not a banish, but it's just like, there for the grace of God go you. Just, you're
Yes.
not hurting anyone. Ideally, you never will. And,
Yeah,
stick to your numbers and puzzles, my guy.
he's in my mind, he is being received by those like classic biblical representation of angels where it's like 1,000 eyes and
Yeah,
feathers everywhere. Yeah.
circles and wings. Yeah.
Yes.
And he would be the only person who was like, yeah, I know it. This is fine. This is
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Where you been, fucker?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for the next episode, we've made it more than clear enough times. We're talking about Jill Stein.
Woo.
There's a lot of things we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about at least two. I don't myth kind of feels like myth for one. The other is like just clarification of things that happen. And ideally, I'm trying to find a third legend around her that people talk about that might not be like 100% true, while also talking about the things that are 100% true that are very disappointing. But we'll cross that bridge when we fuck it, I guess. Well, any final thoughts, feelings?
Just shocked and confused, Green Party.
Yeah, it's like I said on the Almost Presidents podcast. It's not great. Wish it could be better, but fuck, man. Well, thank y'all for joining us this week, and we'll see you next time here on Gadfly. Do 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 do. Got a hacky sack. Do 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 do. Gadfly is a production of Added Serotonin. Our episodes are edited by Brianna Valentine of Rem Alternus Productions. Our theme song is Sophomore Makeout by Silent Partner, and you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at GadflyPod.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?